Okay, so this is a work group. So in a work group, I have a computers called C1, C2, C3, C4. These are all in a work group only. In a work group, as I said, the user in this PC is can able to log in here only. The user in this PC can able to log in here only. User in this PC can able to log in here only. User in this PC can able to log in here only. We just cannot log into. They can't log in from here to here. Okay, this user cannot administrate or control this PC. Okay, so this user database stores in this PC only. This user information and passwords, authentication, and got authenticated in this PC only. So each PC is individually administrated and authenticated by the users are authenticated individually and administrated individually. Okay, no centralized control is there. Okay, we don't have any special centralized PC here to control this one. Okay, so that is, we call it as a work group. So this we call it as a decentralized administration. Decentralized administration, it means there is no centralized administration is there. Every PC act like their own PCs only. That is a centralized, decentralized administration. Here we cannot control or we cannot no, okay, sir. One second, guys. Something, okay, I think I given a permission to everyone, so people are having add permission, I given. Okay. It is okay. So here in our group, it is a decentralized administration. Okay, our group is decentralized center. Okay, decentralized administration. Okay, admin or something you can put it. Okay, decentralized administration. Okay, and you cannot control each individual PCs. Like users are individual. This user is belongs to this one only. User like I want to log in. Someone user is there. Username is user one, and now I want to log in. For example, we'll take the name from yours only. So for example, Komal account is created in the C1. Okay, Komal account is created in C1. Now Amrita want to log in here. Okay, so Komal won't give his account, right? Her account, right? So Amrita want to log into this PC means Amrita's account should be created here. But Amrita's account is here. So but she can log in here, but she cannot log in here. Why? Because her account is not created. Again, we should create account here. So that is a in a work group. So no centralized database management, no centralized control is there. Advantage is there. It is each individual VC. So if in a small scale, like a network centers, we don't require any centralized authentication and security part. Okay, so individual PCs normally we are working on it. So you can go through this work group. Okay, but in the same diagram, I want to create it. Okay, so in the, I want to create the same diagram again. Okay, for explanation, I'll keep this one little bit aside, and the remaining are I will keep it in a. Okay, so try at least more pieces here. Okay. For example, I want to install an application. I want to install an application. So how to go to each and every PC here and how to install it, right? But I want something which in a centrally I can able to install. So I can push those settings or like that. So what to do? So here is some questions will come. So normally, if you have a PCs in our group, you don't get a much problem. Okay, so you don't get a much problem. But there is a something like I want to install some application here and here and here and here. Then what to do? How to go to each and every PC? How to install? 4 PCs, 5 PCs, 10 PCs, not a big deal. So we can install it. Okay. Next. My desktop is like I put a my desktop. I don't know. I didn't seeing your desktop, right? So my desktop is like this, and I have a car backside. This is my personal computer, so no one should not object this one because it's my laptop. What I put it, if it is indecent, okay, but if my likeness is a different part, right? Okay, I just given permission. Okay, check yes. Okay. Okay, so my clients should not change. For example, I'm working in an organization. I'm working in a company's desktop. I'm changing water to daily. I'm changing. So there is a new movie is going to release. Then I put their movie. Like for example, Avengers movie completed, but in those time like Avengers or maybe Iron Man or maybe Wonder Woman, like people put their background screens. Okay, maybe cars or maybe Fast and Furious kind of stuff. Okay, or Big Bang Theory kind of stuff. Like people it depends upon a movie theme, Bahubali kind of stuff. Okay, so people are keep on changing their background settings. People are keep on changing their background settings. I cannot control. I have to go to each and every PC. I have to tell them. So you should not change the background setting. You should maintain our company logo only. Our company logo only we should maintain. Or maybe every week, every Monday morning, I'll give you one theme of a picture theme is there. So I'll put it. So make it more people attractive. Okay. So motivational background settings are there. Na? So like, I am possible, impossible is not there. I am possible. Okay. Bent in the road is not the end of the road. This kind of slogans are there. Na? So like, you can see the quotations. Okay, so I want to put some quotations on a desktop as a desktop wallpaper. So every day I have to go to, or every Monday I have to go to each and every PC, how to change their desktop environment. It's difficult, right? So what I'm saying it is, it's difficult to maintain the control or the PCs if it is a large scale numbers. Okay, mainly large scale numbers. Okay, like more than 20, 30, 40 PCs are there. It's not very difficult. 10 members means it's in front of you only, but every these things we can do it. Okay, so I don't let my user to change their desktop, and I will push what I want to put as a desktop. So I have to do that one. So it is very difficult to maintain in a large scale. Okay, next, user, for example, user one is working here. User one is working here. So one day, okay, already I told this common example, right? So user one working here, and this system is not working now. This user want to work here because this user, the system, he finds some system and he want to log in. He cannot log in until unless account is created. So like that, if these users want to go to other places and to want to log into other computers, it is very difficult. It is very difficult. So every PC I have to create all the accounts. That is not right, right? So in one PC, for example, I have a 100 employees are there. Okay, every PC how to create 100 accounts is not appropriate. Okay, so either we should have put a strict warning like oh, this user and this user can log in, this user log in, this user. Okay. In an IT organization, 3 timings there people are working: morning shift, evening shift, night shift. 3 shifts are there. So you should agree with willing to work in shifts, both night shifts and day shifts and all. UK timing is there. In almost all IT company, they follow UK timing. So your work will start with the early morning to afternoon, afternoon to evening, midnight, evening to early morning. Like that, it will be their work. Okay. So each PC anyway, 3 people are using. Again, we have to shuffle these users, create 100, 200 users into one account. It is not good one. Okay. So this is user account login problem is there, and user control or a desktop control is very difficult. Okay. And I want to push some settings. For example, I created some firewall exemption. So there is an application everybody should able to access. So from there, okay. So I want to push some firewall settings to everyone. So I have to go to everyone and I have to do a firewall setting. For example, 4-5 PCs, no problem. But if I want to do for 100 system, all firewall settings, I want to do it, I have to log into every PC. I have to give 1 day leave for everybody, and I have to give all the firewall exemptions. Okay, and I want this is difficult to administrate in a large scale. Okay, so for all those solutions, we got this centralized administration. What is it? We got a centralized administration. So the solution for our group kind of stuff is centralized administration. Okay, so this called centralized administration called domain. Okay, this is called a domain. So this PC which administrate, it is called a DC. So I'll put in the caps to understand. It is a domain controller. So these are computers. Okay, so these are computers. Okay, no problem. So this is C2 and this is C3, C4, C5, C6, C6. Okay, totally I put a C7 PCs, no problem. So this is the my this is my network. I have a 7 PCs are there and a domain controller is there. Okay, this is my server. Okay, this is my server S1, and my server is a domain controller. My server is a domain controller. In this one, okay, I created a boundary like this. Okay, it is not a proper boundary. Repeat. Okay, so I have to use my marking skills only. Okay, don't worry, it is overlaid. Okay, so this is my boundary, for example. This is my domain boundary. So what is a domain? Domain is an administrative boundary of users and computers. Administrative boundary of users and computers. Okay, logical administrative boundary, not physical administrative boundary. That's why I put a round. I didn't put a mark here. Okay, so logical administrative boundary of users and computers. Okay, this okay, this domain controller stores information of your users, computers, and everything. Okay, so it stores computer information. Okay, C3, C4, C5. Why I didn't write why I didn't write about C6 and C7, because I have written a boundary up to here only. These are in a network, C6 and C7 and network, but they are not in my domain. Just for understanding only. Okay. Next, I have a users, for example, user 1, user 2, user 3, user 4. Okay, it is going up and down, right? Okay. Okay, user 2, user 3, user 4, user 5, user 6, user 7, user 8, user 9, okay, user 10, user 11, user 12, like this. Okay, these are the users which we created inside this PCR. Okay, these are the users which we created. Where we created these users, we created here only. Okay, the users are created in the domain controller, and these 5 PCs are joining into this domain. Okay, joining, this is a domain controller, so it is having a authentication. So we are telling into the domain controller, sir, we are want to join a domain. Domain is logical, domain controller is physical. Domain controller is physical, domain is a logical. Okay, so this is the domain. Domain is just a name. Okay, domain is a name. That's it. Okay, for example, we are all belongs to ITS batch, right? We are all belongs to ITS batch. For example, think ITIS is a domain. ITS is a domain. Okay, but what one is a physical one? You are a individual people are physical one. We are all physical entities only. But ITS make us a group. That's it. We are all belongs to ITS. That is a logical. Okay. Actually, is any physical entity of ITS is there? No, it is a logically ITS is there, but physically we are there. We are a physical entity. Our computers, the people who are listening to me, or we are speaking here, me, and are a physical entities. Okay, so like that, domain is a logical, and computers are physical, and domain controller is also a physical one. Okay, here in this individual pieces. Oh, it is gone. No, that's why I should use the 2 layers. And then I should use this one. Okay. So again, I will put a C5 up to C5. Okay. And this is C7. Okay, guys. This is C7. That is also gone. Okay. So in a domain controller, we have a compute name C1, C2, C3, C4, C5. Okay. So whenever these computers are joining into this one, in this computer, I have to specify I want to join into a particular domain. Then domain controller give authenticate authorization. So then you can join into the domain. Once you join in the domain, in domain controller having a database. This is a symbol, a representation of database. In the database, it stores your each individual computer information there. Okay, those who are belongs to it. What are the names are there in the database? They are belongs to the domain. Okay, next. I created some users in the database. User 1, user 2, user 3, user 4, user 5, user 6. Okay, like that. I created a user 7, user 8. Okay, like that. I created a users in the database. First is I added a computers, and then I created a users. For example, if I had a printer, if I have a printer, if I want to add a print details to this one also, I can add a printer. Okay, So understand what is a domain controller is a physical machine which is installed with the service called ADDS, and domain controller maintain domain. Domain controller maintain domain and the domain computers, domain users, and domain resources. Okay, so domain groups it will maintain. So what is a domain? Domain is a logical boundary. Okay, those who are in the database of domain database, there are belongs to the domain. Okay, so domain is a logical administrative boundary of users and computers, groups, and resources. Okay, so it maintain a active directory. So it maintain a active directory. AD means active directory. Is it for what happened? Okay, guys, it maintain a active directory. Active directory is a database. Actually, active directory is a database service. Okay, the database contains computer, users, group, and other resources information. So what is the advantage of using this one is, what is the advantage of using this one is, okay, once you are belongs to domain, if you once you are belongs to domain, and domain controller will control all user, computers, groups, and other resources also. Okay, here if I want to log in here, I'm a user one, I want to log in to C1, I can log in, because whenever I put a user one and password, the request is going to DC1. So here I want to go through this one. This is a easy text. Okay, so request is going to domain controller. Domain controller verify your authentication. Okay, this user is there. Yes, this is user information is there in my database, and this is my password is, it is authenticated, and let them to access your PC. User to login, try to log in here. Yeah, user 3 try to log in here. User 4 try to log in here. User 5 try to log in here. So each time it will send a request to each time it will send a request to domain controller. Domain controller send authentication information to the PC. So then you can able to log in. User 6 is try to log in here, and it is said we can't able to log in. Why? Because of this C6 PC is not belongs to domain. C6 PC not belongs to domain, and C6 don't know about user 6 information. It will tell I don't know about you. Okay, and C7 is if you are, is also out of my domain. So I cannot control C6 and C7. I can able to do up to here only. Okay, for example, I can control the users based on my data, but I cannot control the users who are logging here. For example, in this species, a student 1, student 2 login, but I cannot control because I don't know those users first of all, and these computers also outside of my domain first. Okay, next, and my user database from user 1 to user 10 is there, for example, and I log in with user 15. I try to log in user 15 here. It is won't let you to log in. Why? Because of, okay, I want to log in user 15 here, and request go to domain controller. Domain controller verify is user 15 is there, password is correct. It is not there, user 15 is not there, then it will tell you are not a user, please verify username and password. Okay, please verify username and password, that it will be. Okay, so this is a centralized control, one thing. Second, already I told the backend desktop environment, right? Here I create a group policy. Okay, I create a group policy. In the group policy, I will put a what kind of wallpaper users should get it. So then I'll push those settings through the network. These are all will get a similar kind of wallpaper. Okay, that practically we'll see. Okay, we'll see that one. Okay, so I push these settings to everyone, but this is not effective. It won't affect on this one. Why? Because of there are outside of my domain. There are outside of my domain. Within the domain only, it is effective. And next one, some firewall exemption should be created in all the PCs in the domain. I create a group policy. I link that policy to some. I modify some settings in the policy for a firewall, and I push the policy. So all the users in the domain will get the same policy will be updated. Okay, like this. This is one example only. I'm telling examples only. Okay, so to mainly understanding how it is works. Okay, so simply we can say um, it's a domain controller is a centralized machine which will take care of your domain. Okay, domain is a administrative boundary of users and computers. Okay, and it maintains Active Directory database. Okay, the Active Directory database name is ntds.dit. Okay, I will write it later. Okay, so don't worry about it. Okay, Active Directory database is there called ntds.dit. Okay, in the database stores users domain database is stored there. So what are the domain database? The computers in the domain, users in the domain, groups in the domain, and resources like a printer, scanner, resources in the domain is stored into that database. So whenever the user is trying to log into the PC in the domain, the domain controller verify users authentication. Domain controller verify users authentication and make it to log into the PC. So it let the user to log into the PC. So this is about the domain and domain controller. Domain is a logical administrative boundary of users and computers. In the domain controller is used to create and maintain the domain. Each domain controller belongs to a domain, one single domain only. Okay, one domain controller can manage only one domain, but in the domain, multiple domain controllers can be there. Okay, in a single domain, multiple domain controllers can be there, but one single domain controller in the part of okay one single domain controller is belongs to a domain only. So a domain controller cannot maintain multiple domains. Domain controller cannot maintain multiple domains. Domain controller cannot maintain multiple domains. Understood? But domain contains multiple domains. Okay, so I will explain that one later. But for try to understand again, domain is a centralized administration. Okay, administration of all the computers in the domain and users will be taking care of your centralized administrator only. User in the domain can able to log into all the computers in the domain. Okay, so user can log in, user one can log in here, 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 user one can log in here. Why he can able to log in anywhere? Of course, he should log out and log in. He should log out from here, log in here, log out from here, log in here, log out from here, log in here, like that. You should log out in one PC, log in from another PC. At a time, two places he can't log in, but log out in one PC, log out in a log out in one PC, log in with another PC. That is important. Okay, how can you log in? Because your computer information, user information stores in your central PC only. So your central PC is authenticating yours. Authentication is happening in central PC. In work group, authentication is happening in individual PCs. Authentication is happening in individual PCs, but in a domain, authentication is happening in a central PC only. Domain controller only authenticate. That's why it is a centralized administration. And another advantage of using domain controller and centralized administration environment is if you want to push some settings or information installation kind of stuff we can do with the group policies. Okay, so centralized authentication is there, and as well as we can use a group policy to push the settings to our clients in the domain. So the group policy won't affect on outside of the domain, even though there are network, group policy won't affect on them. Okay, like that. Okay, they cannot be accessed by any of our users. Okay, so there is their own way, but which is in our domain, it can be authenticated. Okay, so I'm speaking for a longer period of time, so I'm getting little. Okay. Okay, so this is about our group and domain. So what is our practical? First of all, we are going to create a domain controller. First of all, we are going to create a domain controller, and we take a client. Our Windows 10 client is there already. So we take our Windows 10 client and we create a domain controller. Okay, we join this client to domain and we create an account here and we try to log in here. Okay. Okay, so once we are having a 5 minutes, then what to do? So it is going to be disconnect now anyway. Come back at 4 o'clock. Okay, is enough or you want more time? You want more time for a break? Check it. Okay, or come back at 4 o'clock. We have 5 minutes. So make sure that we are done. Otherwise, you can go through. I shared one PPT, right? That is important. Okay. Sorry, guys. Okay. Okay. We have 1 minute to disconnect. I will tell very simple. In a work group, individual PCs are controlled in an individual manner. In a domain, individual PCs are controlled by centralized administrator. It means that main PC only. This domain controller will control all the PCs. How it will be controlled? So each PC we should tell I am belongs to that domain. I am belongs to that domain. I am belongs to the domain. I am belongs to the domain. So in the domain controller, using domain controller, we creating a domain. First of all, we should create a domain. In the domain, who are joining, there belongs to us. Okay, who are joining into the domain, there are belongs to us. Like these 4 pieces are joined. Okay, these 4 pieces information stores in domain controller database. Okay, and also I created some user account, user 1, user 2, user 3, user 4, user 5, user 6. Like that, I created some account. These users can able to log into any of the PC. Guys, we have 1 minute to disconnect. Okay, so what you will do, come back at 4-5. 4-5 is okay, I think so. 4-5, come back at 4-5. Okay, 4-0-5. Where is this? 4-0-5 to 4-10. Okay, come back there. So I will show you that installation.